Well, I'd like to welcome everybody to Outside the Games. Thank you so much for coming into our program. We have a student athlete here we're talking to today. This is Olivia Smith, class of 2025, plays the second base. This is softball, and her GPA is 3.5. Olivia, welcome to Outside the Games. So glad you came in. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Yes, thank you. We always start here with family and how you would define it. So
Mhm.
take me through that. How would you define family to you?
I would say they are pretty much the foundation of everything. They are the backbone.
Of everything you do, right?
Hmm.
Right. Mom and dad, so they play a role in your life. And again, I believe without
Hmm.
it's really hard to be a student athlete because there's so much they do for you. Take me through what mom does for you.
Mom's just the one that has those talks with me when I have those rough days, and she kind of it's that I'm gonna calm you down and I'm gonna get you through this. Whatever you're going through, I'm gonna get you through this.
And dad plays a role too because we can't forget about him, right? There's always sometimes that balance that these parents play. So what does dad do for you?
Hmm. Um, Dad's the one that kind of pushes me, and he'll kind of be laid back, but then also it's that like, I know you can do this. I know what you're capable of. I just need you to put in the effort and watch you succeed.
And I believe that parents kind of know how to push certain buttons of a list,
Hmm.
right? To get her to do something, right? So give
Yeah.
me an example of how they push your buttons a little bit to get you to motivate you.
Um, I would say they try to make me mad. They try. Um, but that's one of them. But it's also knowing in myself that I can do it, and they're spending this money, they're doing all this time with me, and I got to succeed for them, for myself.
Very true. We look at the aspect of a student athlete because it's kind of sometimes bigger than just, we've heard the this phrase, it takes a village, right? But you have the parents,
Hmm.
then you have mentors. Take me through, Olivia,
Hmm.
who your mentors are.
My softball coach definitely. He pushes me to be better every day with grades, softball, and then just he's helped me figure out my personality too. So that's a big part of it. And just focusing on doing better every day, getting better every day.
I always have a phrase that I always use in my life, and I think this sums up for a student athlete as well is be better today than you were yesterday in all facets of whatever,
Hmm.
right? But
Hmm.
I tell you, do you think mentors are a really important piece for a student athlete? What's your take on that?
They are because you have your parents and then you have the mentors who you can talk to about anything, who can push you, who, if you're having a rough time, they understand that. And I guess one of the biggest mentors is probably Talon Edwards for me.
Hmm. We do know of Talon Edwards because she was on the show before when we interviewed.
Hmm.
Actually, we were her first interview, and she was just. I think she had even made the comment that since we interviewed her, things just took off for her. One thing after another started to become successful in opportunities. But no, such a good example of a mentor there for Talon. And how has Talon helped you? Like, what has she done for you to encourage you, Olivia? Because your class of 2025, you have a little bit of time, but you're doing great things
Hmm.
with the at Moore High School.
Yeah, I would say she's helped me realize, it's okay to push yourself, be that one on the field that's going to be the loudest, the craziest, and she's also like, be the one that pushes your teammates, but also be the one that is there for your teammates.
it takes one and more, right? So it takes both of those
Mhm.
to really help and kind of all in a way. Hey, team, get on my back. Let's go.
Mhm.
Go together. We're stronger together than we are separate. So definitely, what a great
Right.
that you mentioned. SouthMoore High School in Oklahoma. How has that high school helped you? And I mean, have there been some changes that have happened? But take me through what it's like now.
Um, it's different, softball wise. We have a younger group, and I've kind of felt that, it's time to take in that leadership role to help these kids, realize, we are a very serious program about winning, state and all that. And of course, we're not going to win every game, but it's the end result that we want.
Very much so, and I think that's an important outlook to have.
Hmm.
Uh, Through the high school, there's academic counselors, advisors, teachers. You need them to help guide you and to be successful when you're talking about academics and especially going to the next level in college. So, how have these individuals really, helped you, Olivia?
I would say the counselors at SouthMoore High School has helped me the most, probably. Um, there'll be times when, it's just a rough day at school, and it's that, I have somebody to talk to and about grades, about your mental health, and they just listen.
Yeah, no, that's important, and you want them to listen, and you want them to kind of, I mean, because there's always that maybe there's a class you're taking, right? And if you look at just what you're taking as
Mhm,
far as a curriculum and how that looks, they're going to be the ones that says, hey, in college, you may want to think about this class. This can help
mhm.
really help you out when it comes to, hey, getting your entrance exam into the college and having that opportunity. Don't those things happen to student athletes from these guys?
Oh, yeah, and they are so good because you can ask them, like, "I wanna major in this subject," or whatever, and they will guide you to what classes, and they are not afraid to say, "If you need help, ask."
Mm, okay. Now the teachers, in the classroom, how do you take your assignments in the classroom and how do you handle, I mean, because think about this, Olivia, you have so much going on. I mean, not only do you have
Mhm,
school, you have home life, you have training, you have softball, travel teams, things of that sort. So I mean, you're all over when it comes to just
mhm.
what you have to do. How do you really handle that workload?
I'm gonna go back to one of the quotes that my dad says every time, and it's, "Do one thing at a time."
Hmm, okay.
Because if you try to focus on so much, then you get overwhelmed, you get anxiety, and just saying that, "Let me finish this one thing and let me move on to the next."
Okay. And when taking that right there and then applying it to tools you use to keep you on task. Now that
Mhm,
right there are some things that you use that really help you to manage and time manage yourself to make
mhm.
sure things are getting done. Take outside the games through what tools do you use, and really something that could be helpful for other student athletes.
I would definitely say tutors. I mean, you know, you wanna do the schoolwork on your own and all that, and you wanna finish it and all that, but there's times when tutors or even teachers, go ask them the questions that you need, and to help you learn that subject and just help you do better in general.
I love that. Tutors are important, right? I mean, I think when it comes to just getting
Mhm,
flipping that B to an A, I mean, there you go. There's the tutor that comes into play right there.
mhm.
Well, I tell you, we have here Olivia Smith, class of 2025, plays second base out of Southmoore High School in Oklahoma with a GPA of 3.5. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back to Outside the Games. And again, we have Olivia Smith with us. Hey, Olivia, we're going to talk a little bit about the aspect of softball, right? The sport that you love, right? What made you want
Hmm.
to play the game of softball? What was it about softball that just had you like, I want to play this game. This is what I want to do, and I want to do it well?
I would say definitely the competition
Hmm.
of softball. And I'm not saying like any other sport has competition, but it's just something about softball that spoke out to me. And it was just that I got this feeling that this is the sport that I'm meant to play.
And being that this is the sport that you're meant to play, SouthMoore High School, come on now, Sabercats, right?
Hmm.
What has been, you play second base. What have you learned about that position as you remember when you first started? Now you're
Hmm.
have done it for a while. What has been what has been so interesting about the position you play at second base? And what have you taken from the years you when you were new at it to where you're at now?
I would say that when I started, I really didn't think second base did that much. But now I realize like every position on the field has something to do.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter if you're getting the ball or not, you have something to do.
Have you learned so much in the position that you've seen? Because I mean, again, reps are important. I always say that with student athletes. You get the reps,
Hmm.
it's going to really help you with confidence and a lot of other things as far as the position and know it well and do it well. Do you feel that those reps have really helped you to be mature now that you're a senior?
Definitely. I would say the more reps that you get at any position will help you. Um, Not only to be confident in your position, but also to play your position, to succeed in your position.
Very true. How does Olivia go about the aspect of training? I mean, I think as a student athlete, right? At the end of the day, first thing is you want to prevent injury. Nobody wants to get injured, right?
Hmm.
But I think the thing is though, when it comes to training for softball, right? There are different sports that students
Hmm.
play, but for softball, what is in the training regimen for Olivia Smith?
I would say a lot of weights, but then also a key part of that is you have to stretch your body because you can be very strong, very fast, and then you don't stretch your body, injuries are going to happen.
And with that, I think you look at certain parts of your body, and I think what helps, take us through that. Maybe somebody that's a young softball player, and they've just started out. What are some things that they need to look at, maybe as far as how to train their body to be really good at the sport? What are some things you maybe can tell them about that they can zero in on?
I would say do not rush the process, do not rush your training, do not rush warm ups because in the end of the day, you're going to be thankful and, you're going to have less injuries.
Now, with you once a teammate of Talon Edwards, right? You all played together. Now it's
Hmm.
Olivia Smith and everybody else, right? In the sense of your teammates. What do your teammates mean for you? And I think again, as we're looking forward to the season for the Sabercats, again, you want to be successful. The coaches want to be successful, especially the teams that you play. Take me through a little bit of that as far as it goes for you and what you want out of the season this year.
I would say my teammates are everything to me. Um, they've helped me push myself also, but then they know that I'm just as determined as they are to win. And it's kind of that we have that um we don't want to lose.
Well, really, what you look at is that you all have built. I mean, from the past players to the current players, you all have built a juggernaut in a sense of
Hmm.
you're getting championships. In fact,
Hmm.
show me some of that bling that you got there, right there, huh?
Let's look at them.
Okay, what do we got there? Which one is this?
This is the 2021 state championship ring. And then this one is our slow pitch
Ooh.
ring.
So yeah, talking about the travel team, because I think the travel team and your high school team, there's something to be said about that travel ball. How important is
Mhm.
that travel ball to you, Olivia, in getting to be the best athlete you can in that position? Because I think you're playing second base in the travel team and possibly learning other positions.
Mhm.
But take me through how the
Yes.
travel ball is helping high school.
I would say travel helps you because you get to see people that are out of state, like you see California girls or people who play in Texas. So you get to see other talents, and it's almost that I want to compete with her or I need to be on the same level as her. And then you just go into school ball or high school ball, and it's like, I want to dominate.
There's a level of measurement that you do as a student athlete when you look at the competition that is around you, right?
Hmm.
What
Hmm.
have you noticed about some players in other regions? I mean, you're in Oklahoma, and of course, while we all know the Oklahoma Sooners softball in college is amazing, amazing
Right.
team. But there's Alabama. There's a lot of other teams. There's even in the Pac-12. But in college, take me through as far as some of these other players that you face in travel ball. What is it about that you've learned in other regions? How do you fare personally against players like this in other places?
I would say, you have to be honest with yourself. There are players that are better than you and all that, but there's also that, are they better than you, or are you going to push yourself to be on that level with them? And that's what makes you better.
That is definitely what makes you better. Now, looking at your team and your coaches, how have your coaches really helped you on your high school team? How have they really helped you to be a better player and a better teammate?
Um, they have helped me by, if I have a bad game, they are just like, you've got this. I know you're capable of this. You need to focus on yourself and worry what's ahead of you. And my my head coach for school ball, he's helped me so much throughout the years with everything.
Now, with travel ball, you have travel coaches. Is there, would you say that the travel coaches and the high school coaches, because there's a lot of times you're playing intramural ball or something like that, and sometimes how you're coached is a little bit different how the coaches in high school coach you. Is it a little bit the
Hmm.
same? Do you get kind of the same message in a sense, or is there something of information that you're able to go, wow, I didn't know that, and this is different for me? Take me through that, the difference.
I would say travel and school ball, they both send the same message. All they want you to do is succeed.
Now, looking at the goals this year for your team, senior leadership, right, and how important of a role that plays for some of the teammates you have. Has that been something that the seniors are looking to rally to help the younger players out?
Oh, definitely. Because these younger players, they're new to this. They're trying to figure out where they are, where they stand, and you don't want to be that person that makes them feel uncomfortable. You want to make them feel like, you know, this is your home for the next 4 years in high school until you move on to college. And we're going to push you, we're going to make you better. But also, there are going to be times when we're off the field, we're going to be girls, we're going to be silly.
You're gonna have fun. I mean, really, when you look at it,
Yes.
have fun. I mean, high school, I tell you, and you'll probably say this is how fast high school has been, right?
Yes.
High school's been
Hmm.
so fast. What if you had to say, what is the goal of the team coming up for softball for you and the SaberCats?
I would say definitely it's always, I'm trying to think. get better each day, and whatever has happened in the past, we have won rings in the past. That doesn't matter now. We're looking to the future.
Yeah, and you want one of the things you look at as far as being a champion, what you did in the past does not count. It's a new year.
Hmm.
Right?
Right.
So for you, I think the thing is for your team, again, as you play in the conference that you play in, take me through who the toughest opponent is that you play.
I think the toughest opponent is definitely Edmond Memorial or Moore High School.
Wow.
You
And
know,
that's
it's always when we play them. Yeah, when we play them, it's always a different, almost setting. There's more intensity than any other game.
and it gets a little bit chippy out there. I mean, I think I asked
Mm,
Talon this one time before. You can see the amount of energy that Talon plays at Oklahoma State. We all know this. We've seen it. We've seen
mhm,
the replays and some of the things that she's been able to do. But for you on the level of high school, and again, it can get very competitive with the girls, right?
mhm. Yeah, I would say though, the screaming, the yelling, it all makes it part of the game.
Now we touched on you playing second base. As
Mhm.
you know, on the next level in college, there could be a potential change. I mean, yes, they may recruit you for second base, but how important is it, Olivia? And take me through this to really know a lot of the other positions on the field.
It's very important because you may be a stud shortstop or second base, but it's also you want to be the kid that the coach can say, "Can you play this position?" And you can say, "Yes, I will try it out and I will give my 100%."
Now, how has recruiting been for you? And I think the thing is that, phone calls come in, coaches are
Mhm,
coming to visit games, and you're getting letters, and it's a whole new thing, I think, for parents,
mhm.
you as the student athlete, and of course, their daughter, to really work on this together when it comes to recruiting. How do you handle things like that when you get a little bit of a garner of attention from other schools, collegiate schools that are looking at you on the next level?
I would say it is a lot of attention, but it's also you gotta stay humbled. That's the biggest thing is you gotta stay humbled and let, I would say, God make that path for you.
How important has God been in your life? Because you mentioned it. And I know Talon is a believer as well. Take me through how much God has been so important to you when dealing with, hey, just being a student and dealing with that. There's aspects of peer pressure
Mhm,
that happens around you, and then there's aspects of the
mhm,
thing of, hey, I need to be grounded. I need to concentrate. I need to stay focused. Remove all the distractions and bad associations away from me. I have a goal. How important has God played a role in your life?
a huge part because I will feel at times that, there'll be times when you feel alone, but you're really not. And though God's always going to be the one where you can sit down and pray, and it's almost a feeling of relief. Like almost like somebody's behind you touching your shoulder saying, "It's going to be okay."
Mm. That moment of comfort is nothing like it. There's nothing like
Hmm.
it really when you got that comfort. Is there a favorite scripture
Hmm.
that Olivia has?
I can't remember the scripture, but I know the verse. It's God is my salvation. He is forever my salvation, and he will always be my salvation.
Well, I tell you, Olivia Smith out of SouthMoore High School, class of 2025, second base, GPA 3.5. I tell you, look for her. There's going to be some great things happening. I know she's going to close it out. Her goal is obvious to win a state title. Add more rings, more hardware, of course. I tell you, Olivia, this conversation has been great with you, and I tell you, uh, I think not only myself, but I think the student athletes watching, I think they've learned a lot about how you go about things and how you handle things. We really appreciate you coming in on our
Hmm.
program.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Olivia Smith, Watch the Sabercats, everybody, out of Southmoore High School. They're coming. They're coming. And let's keep an eye on you, especially on the next level for college for you. Okay?
All right.
All right.
Hi, this is Alexa Hanish, and you're watching Outside the Games.